Sure, absolutely. I've been here since 2004. I was previous in London for 20 years, and I had my own business there. And I came over here by mistake, actually. I came over with a friend of mine who was a travel agent, and he said, Ian, I'm going to go and buy some properties in Dubai, and would you like to come? So I said, yeah, okay. So I got on the plane with him, and we were due to stay for 3 days. We stayed in the Fairmont for 3 weeks, and we bought and sold 3 villas in 3 weeks and made 300,000 dirhams. And that triggered me to coming into Dubai and getting involved in the early stages of the real estate market. And it was very early in those days. You know, the freeholders just come in. Palm Jumeirah wasn't even built. There was only just water in the marina. Downtown was a military camp. It was so early, but it was a lot of fun. So that's how I started my career here. I've been here since, I said, 2004. Worked for some big companies here in the real estate brokerage side, and obviously through the brokers, connections to developers. And so that's it really. And I moved over in 2004, and I've not looked back since. And I love the market here. Yeah, well, I totally agree with you. I mean, I've seen, before I came here, there were no portals. Okay, there was no websites. So literally we were only advertising on the back of the Gulf News in the freehold section. So I've seen the growth of the portals and how they've taken a grip on how property is sold here. And there is no other way of doing it other than having your own website and driving that website forward. So I'm fully aware of how things sell here. I'm fully aware of where the brokers spend their money, how they get their leads. I was offered this opportunity of looking at property search, which to me is an eye-opener and is a way forward that no one else has ever considered doing. And it is very simple. It's not rocket science what we're trying to do here. We are trying to deliver to the customers of Dubai, the expats, investors, whether be they owner-occupiers or purely investors. We want to deliver them an easier option than what they're used to. And with this app that we're going to launch very shortly, it gives a client, an applicant, whatever you want to call them, the opportunity to see a full range of properties that are available in the market, and they're not going to be guided by brokers. All they need to be doing is looking at the properties, deciding for themselves what they want, the reasons they want it. And when they've decided what the reasons are, then they plug in their information, their requirements, and the app will deliver back to them the properties that are available within their criteria. So they're not relying on an agent or a broker to influence them on what they need to buy. You take your own decisions, and it's very easy. It's very easy. So I've seen the evolution of developers over the course of 20 years, and it's been incredible. It has been an incredibly steep learning curve for all of them, going from the original big guys, Emar and Nikhil, up to smaller developers now. They've all had a chance to evolve. Early days, they never had their own sales teams. They would always use brokerage firms to bring in the customers, to bring in the clients, to bring in the buyers. Now you see developers having their own internal sales teams. Of course, they use brokers. They always use brokers. And they'll always invite brokers to seminars. And when they're launching a new development, there'll be a room full of brokers. And they know that the brokers are very excited because there's 6 or 7 or 8% commission on the line. Bring in someone and you're going to do a deal. But in fact, the developers have just as good salespeople internally, okay, that we want to introduce our clients to. I'm not saying that we're cutting out brokers, but what we can do is by our efforts and our ability to attract customers, we can give those customers a direct line to the developer. And that direct line will go to a salesperson within the development team, okay, who is fully briefed on any development, any product, any project they're doing. So you're directly with the developer. And then you're going to get, after you've made your criteria sound, then you're with the right developer at the right price in the right area with the best ROI. Or if it's for owner occupying, where you want to live and retain your status here. So that's what we think we can offer to the developers. I would like to think so, but I also think at the moment they do have their in-house staff that can deal with leads. We intend, there's a difference between what type of lead you can get in this market. Okay, good leads are gold dust. Out of every 100 leads, there may only be 5 that are real buyers. Okay, that would what a broker would do. A broker would contact those 100 people and narrow it down to try and get five good people. We're going straight to those 5 people. We're offering the services of all the developers to those good clients because they can see what we're doing. They can see that we're offering every development that's in the market through every developer. And as soon as they click that button and they go through to our app, we can direct those leads, which are good leads, through to the sales team. Now, the sales team that they have at the moment are in most cases, ex-brokers in any case. So they do know what they're doing. And of course, if they've got a direct client that comes to them, they're dealing one-to-one on them, they offer the services that a broker could be doing and in importing that information, or they just go straight ahead. And I think that, I hope they would need more brokers because, our ultimate game is to provide as many leads as we possibly can. But we do know that the leads that we are going to be producing and directing to developers are going to be good leads. Leads that they can close on. Ease of use. Ease of use. Going to a portal, portals are so big now. The 2 main ones here are so big. And, there's pages after pages after pages of brokers selling the same properties, developers advertising the same things. And there's so much stuff there. What we're trying to do here is to streamline what a client wants. That's the first step, okay? The client comes on and he tells us what he wants. We are going to put the developers on their own pages in the app, okay? Those pages will connect with the requirements of the client. Right? So there's no middle party like I said there is in the portals. You go to the portal, you go to a broker. You require from them what, and then you have to wait for them to come back to you, and then they'll start talking to you about what developers are offering. Doesn't give you a cross section of the whole market. This gives you a cross section of the whole market. And I'll take an example. There's 50 developments under construction in Jumeirah Village Circle at the moment. All right. If you go onto one of the big portals, it'll take you an age to find those 50, and you might not even find them. What we can do is if someone plugs in and says, I want to spend £1 million dirhams in JVC, and I want this payment plan, and I want this potential ROI, and I want size, or I want a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment, whatever it is, you put in the criteria, and then it will give every single developer in JVC that is offering what you want. It's then up to you to connect with those developers. Or we'll get the developers to connect with you, because there's not going to be 50 of them. There's going to be 10 or 20. We'll give those leads to the developer. Developer can contact you, or you can contact the developer. So it's a streamlining your search. That's where it's different. That's where it's not lost in the morass of so many developments on the market. One page, one developer, and the stock they've got. And it's up to the developer to be, we have to have a clear connection with the developer. The developer has to keep us abreast of what they're selling and the price changes, new launches, new stock available. So it's an ongoing situation with all the developers, but it gives them their own page. They can put on their own page what they like within our criteria and how it works. So yeah, it's streamlining the whole thing. We're concentrating on off-plan to begin with. This is the main aim of the portal of the app to begin with. We will bring in secondary at some point because it makes sense for us to do so. But the developers need to be assisted here, and we can see that this app is going to assist these developers. It's not one thing it's do for the developers is saving their commission. This is not a commission situation at this stage, and if it is, it'll be a much more cost-effective commission situation with the developers, not 6 and 7 and 8%. Okay, so we're concentrating on the developers. We will get to the secondary market. The secondary market is a hard one to get into because of the data that you require from the selling broker. It's difficult. It's not easy, but we'll cover that. But developers are our main focus at the moment. Secondary, and then holiday lets and leasings thereafter. But we will get there. This is our focus is on developers to begin with. We're not going to let clients, I'll call them clients for the time being, yeah? We're not going to let clients loose. We have to have a certain amount of control over them. The team that we're putting together in property search are experienced. We're experienced in how to do sales, we're experienced in how to progress a sale from an initial looking on an app right through to a completion. If there's any part of that transaction or any part of that process that the client does not understand, we're available. We're not just going to be in the ether. We're not just going to be nothing. We are there to help. Every single lead that we go through, we're recommending to the developer. We will know and we'll keep track of that lead, exactly how it is progressing with the developer in question. And if that client is not getting helped properly by the developer, which is out of our control, we'll pull them back into the fold and we'll either deal with the developer on their behalf or guide them somewhere else or give them other options. We're not going to let people go. It's not just a give us your number and we'll pass the developer. That's not what it's about. It's not the way that real estate works in Dubai. It really isn't, and that's not our intention at all. It's to hold the clients by the hand and take them through the process. We're not trying to sell the client the property. They've already decided they want to buy it. That's where the difference, the thin line is that you're talking about, is a broker is trying to sell that property to that client, whether or not he feels that it's the right thing for him. What we've done is establish what the client wants, because we know we don't have any predilection to be with Emar or Nakhil or whoever it might be. We're offering developers the whole aspect. So the client comes onto us and tells us what they want. Okay, we will deliver the properties that fit their bill to them. And if they're not getting satisfaction from the developer, we'll deal with it again. We'll come back in again and we'll try and help them on another route. So we're not going to let people go.